subliminal messages that are in there to brainwash you, to make you go after that same spirit that them rappers and the whole world are going after. And the way we watch movies is different. We don't just sit down and be like, oh, I want to watch a good movie, and that's it, and get nothing out of it. Or just go back to your friends and tell them, hey man, you need to watch this movie. Now we watch movies and we analyze it and we relate it to the scriptures. And really those movies, those plots they come from the Bible. So everything changes.
And another thing too, man, is, you know, all those brothers have to admit it, man, and we all admit it. If you're really in this truth, all of the brothers, man, we were wicked, man. We're so wicked, we're all ashamed of ourselves, you know? We all did some abominable thing at some point in time, man, that we're all really ashamed of. The point is, man, we all cut it up. We all cut that shit out, though, you know? But and the thing is, these men that are in this truth, we all, not all of us are, because there's some that are going to be sifted out, or they're going to fall, but we're the elect. If the elect, man, or at one point in time wicked, then what's so hard, man, what's so hard about, you know, stopping smoking cigarettes, you know? Because a two-third can't stop smoking cigarettes. You know, like, what? But I mean, like, but that's the thing, man. Like, what is so hard about stopping smoking a cigarette? Like, what's that gonna do to you if you stop smoking? Are you gonna die? Believe it or not, you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself when you're smoking a cigarette. But then these people act like they're gonna die if they can't stop smoking a cigarette. You know? You seen that shit, man. They got commercials on TV today. I know there's an old woman today. She's like in her 50s, man. But she has to put on a blonde wig, but she starts talking, and she's talking about how she wishes she could have talked to her grandson in her original voice, but you hear her talking like a little robot, man. You see that hole? But it's a point, man. Like, why can't you two-thirds, man, y'all are fucking wicked, man, to the point. Why can't you stop? Why can't you stop doing these things, man? I mean, we already know, but we're just questioning it. Like, how can you love this world, man? How can you love what this world gives you, and yet oppression is all around you? And believe it or not, your own cars are made to be against you in the day of the martial law, man. All these devices that you got, they're made to be against you in that day. You don't even know it. Because I was thinking about an automobile. Every automobile, like I was doing this from I had a piece of shit 2003 Kia Spectre, man. This piece of shit, but I knew that there was a computer in it. Every car has a computer in it. Computer chip that starts the car, that makes all the functions go, but
all the sensors.
Yeah, but believe it or not, ESO has a device that can actually shut your car off while it's driving. When you're trying to drive away from him from martial law, he has a device where it can disable your car, and your car will just stop right then and there.
And there's tracking devices in them cars today.
Yeah.
Because they got these like I got an Impala, 2007 Impala, and on my rearview mirror I forget what it's called, but it has like a letter I, I-Star. And you can push it and you can contact somebody and they can find where you're at.
Yep. And if you say try to start it, they won't let you start it unless you give them the correct information. You know?
And also a while back, like before coming into the truth in my mind, like with the safety belt, like if they had, I know that we know they have the ability to shut down your car, and but what would come to my mind is that, okay, what makes me believe it is because of that they can control the car, so everything's gonna stop working, everything's gonna just like lock, because nowadays like if you don't got your safety belt on, what's going off? A beep, right? And there's like a light in the dashboard telling you, hey, your safety belt, until it keeps doing it, it'll keep going until it actually annoys you, and then you put your safety belt on. But what I'm trying to say is that before I came into the truth, in my mind it came to me that when that day happens, when the car was shut down, being in the truth, when I was coming into the truth, it came to my mind that, okay, being buckled up, and that they shut down the car, you're not gonna be able to get out that safety belt. You're not gonna be able to take it off. It's gonna be everything's gonna be locked down, shut down completely. You ain't gonna be able to take it off. It's gonna be locked, right? So, you know,
and then
you gotta.
What happens?
And another thing, like, you know, I would always carry. Well, you know what? I ain't gonna say. What are you gonna say?
Well,
I mean,
hey, well, yeah. Hey, but what he's saying is true, because I remember now, when I was a very, very small kid, when I used to live in a foster home, I was like 4 or 5 years old. I was 4 or 5 years old, man, and I still remember this. There was a TV show I've been watching, man, but it was these kids that were doing a driving simulation. But it was, I think it was like Goosebumps or something. I don't know what it was, but the teacher, the driver instructor, he would put these kids that were learning how to drive in a car simulator, but the car simulator was real. It was to the point that your mind could, if you died in that simulator, you died in real life. So there was this one guy that the teacher instructor was trying to go after. You know, the driver instructor wanted to kill this one man. So he put him in the thing, and the guy didn't, the kid didn't know that the driver instructor was going to kill him. So he set that simulator to the point where the car, he started speeding it up slowly. And the kid was like, all right, let's go. Driving. When he got to the point, he pulled him up to like 70 or 80 miles per hour, and then he pushed the button to where there was traffic in the simulator. The kid died. So it's true. They can control everything. You know, like you were saying, everything that the Most High has created, we've already brought it out. The brothers have brought it out over years after years. Everything that the so-called white man's created, man, is just nothing but to make you fall on that day. Medicines, whatever, they're there to make you fall, or to fall back, destroy you. There you go, destroy you.
It's the 2 Corinthians 2:11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Right, and it's at least, we already know that word already means that this will happen if you don't take heed. But we know, we're not ignorant that these devices are against us. So we gotta take heed to them and be circumspect that there's certain things out there you gotta watch out for. You know, for example, that's why you can't really prepare for the day of the Lord, man, because you can't. Because say you bring say you got your old safety kit, you got your thing full of MRIs or MREs.
You gotta go ahead.
You got your matches in a box. Most High may allow it to rain in that day of storm. What happens? Your matches get wet. You can't have no fire. It's snowing. You know, there you go. You gotta have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding ready, man. And only the elect are gonna have it. Without it, man, there's nothing you can do.
And say if it's waterproof, it's only gonna last for so long.
Yeah.
You might get a rip, and there goes the water seeps in and destroys everything. Bandages.
Yeah. You know, like I got a hunting knife in my car that when you twist the cap off, they have a little survivor kit, but it has a fishing line and a hook. You know, your fishing line may break, man. You ain't gonna be able to fish. You buy a big old river. Rivers are gonna be dried up. Esau, you already see it, man. Well, down here in San Angelo, they dried up the rivers so they can do recreation work on the river to make it look more so-called beautiful, man. It still looks like a piece of shit. Green ass, poop-looking water.
Yeah, they do that to attract people to come to San Angelo.
Yep.
Make more money.
Yep. Man, you don't even know, man, that Esau, he's gonna pull that water in that day, man, and use it for himself.
Contaminated.
Like people have no idea, man, what's coming. You don't have no idea, man, how hard it is gonna be to even get a slice of bread, to get a cap full of water, man, for real. It's no joke. There's no exaggeration. There's no dramatization or over exaggeration of how the day of the Lord is gonna be, because that's how it's really gonna be. You don't even realize, man, these 2/3, they're being full right now. Yeah, you can be like, yeah, you're drinking your water right now. You're getting your belly full. You're like, man, I quenched my thirst. And that day, man, you're gonna be thirsty as hell. You're gonna die of starvation. You're gonna be thirsty as hell. You're gonna die of starvation and dehydration, man. And what are you gonna do then? The elect, man, they're gonna be calling on the name of the Lord. And the elect, believe it or not, we're gonna be skinny, because you're not gonna be able to fulfill your hunger at that day. You know, we're gonna be thirsty, but the Most High is gonna give it to us to where at that last moment to get that water, enough water to get you through a few more days. Not like you're gonna be laying there with a stack of water bottles right here, and a stack of food, and just be sitting on a throne of magazines and toilet paper to wipe your ass when you go to the restroom. It's not gonna be like that, man. It's not. The elect are gonna be wearing rags but it's gonna be because the man of the Lord knows how to be content, like I said in Proverbs. The things that are sufficient. Being content, being sufficient, is not having a sandwich that'll fill your hunger up. Being sufficient is to where you get enough to get you by just a little bit more, man. And it may hurt. It may hurt your stomach. The stomach may be growling. You know? That's what being sufficient to the Most High is. Because a good example was Paul when he had that thorn in his side. He had that pain, but the Most High said, "My grace is sufficient to you." You know? So all things, man, all things, they're against you in that day, but they're also for the elect. The elect are going to be able to get through.
This is Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need.
Right, and the men of the Lord right now, us brothers, we're all practicing that right now. You know, there's days we may fast, we may just have a certain routine to where we don't drink or eat food at a certain time anymore. You know, it just gets and it becomes a natural thing.
It might be you only eat one meal a day.
Yep. Personally, me and this brother, we do that actually. We don't do it intentionally. Sometimes we do maybe eat a couple meals, but most of the time, man, I just go because that's how I work at my job. I just got up, I didn't eat, and I would eat when I get home, one meal out of the day. You know, but it prepares you. There you go. Prepares you for that day to where you're not going to be like that fat 2/3 man that's going to be dying of. You know, his fat's gonna be eaten away because of how hungry he is.
But it's like in that movie, the Lord of the Rings. I think it was either the second one or the third one, where the hobbits, they were complaining like there was they were complaining that they weren't gonna have no more potatoes, you know, or no, he was saying that we're not gonna have breakfast. We're not gonna have a second breakfast, then lunch, then whatever else, like because they had like a set schedule. They were always eating because in the movie Lord of the Rings, those hobbits, they were like the elect. They were like Israel because Frodo was the only one that could bear that burden. He was the only one that could. He was being tempted, but he wouldn't fall into the temptation of the ring. So he's the only one that could carry it. And he was small, right? Like he was looked at as a weak thing. The hobbits were small people, looked at as weak people, but they had something that the humans didn't have. All right, but when I watch it, I relate that to the elect, because the elect, we're not great people, we're not big mighty people, we're not men of honor, we're not in high stature, we're looked at as pieces of shit, despised by the world, but yet we're enduring this hardness for who? Yahweh shall I say? When these people can't do it. That's why they're at where they're at. They're at the bars, the clubs. If they're at another man's wife, or the wife is having another man come into her while her husband's out at his homeboys, or you know, whatever wicked things going on. Okay. You know, but you know, just going back to what I was saying about that movie Lord of the Rings, that they were complaining that they weren't gonna. They had a set schedule. They're always having dinner or 2 lunches, 2 breakfasts, whatever the hell they had. Like today in America, they say eat 3 meals a day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Or supper, whatever the fuck they call it. Like, I don't even, when my belly, when I'm hungry, like when I know that I'm really hungry, not because when my belly starts, oh, well, you're hungry, or my mind says I'm hungry. I let it drag out. All right, I let it drag out because that's what the Lord's given us, that ability, that strength, and conditioned ourselves to be like, all right, you're telling me you're hungry, but I know I can endure this much more longer. I'm not gonna die. Like the brother was saying, some of you 2/3 act like y'all gonna die if y'all quit smoking. You fat asses, y'all act like you're gonna die if y'all don't get a damn cheeseburger. You know? But Paul, he was saying that he knows how to be abased. He knows how to be hungry. He knows how to be full and how to know when to be hungry. You know? But I'm gonna finish it up. Verse 13, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me.
And that goes back to the point that, you know, when you run out of water, or you run out of your a slice of bread that you had, where are you going to be in that day? You know, or what are you going to do? Who's going to strengthen you then? If you have no water to strengthen you, you have no, you know, you don't have no bread. What are you going to do then? You know, you may be out in the wilderness, man. But you know, even at that, even the men of the Lord, even us brothers, man, we know, and we have certain brothers that bring it out. There's certain things that you can eat. You know, there's certain flowers you can eat. You know, there's actually I know there's certain trees that if you suck on the bark, it'll quench your thirst, and what actually helps you get through the heat to where you won't be thirsty anymore. So. But that's the whole thing that you're learning. And where do we get this from? Like Paul just said, through Christ. We can do all things because we learned it from Yahweh and Yahweh Shai.
This is Psalms 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?
Because he's the one who's going to get you through it in that day. He's the one, he's going to give you, like we read in Isaiah 65. He's the one who's going to give you that bread or that meat, you know? I know there was an example brought to me a while back, that there could be a lawful animal that you can eat that's going to fall in that day, and you can take it, you know? Or, you know, there could be a man that could, or I think we were talking about before, there could be a man that it could be either your foe, or y'all could maybe switch up a little water or bread for each other. You know, however the Most High does it, that's how the Most High's going to give it to you. You know, it's not going to just be like how the 2/3 want it. It's going to be handed to you. You can go to a drive-through and just be like, I want this and that, and then you go on your way.
And also, it's not going to be easy too to like when all hell's breaking loose. You know, some people may think about, damn, you know, it might be easy to break into a house in that time. Hell no, because there's gonna be people in them houses that ran someone else out but took it, and now they're holding fort. Someone tries to break in, they're gonna think it's easy, and they're gonna get shot up. It's gonna be rough, man. It's not gonna be easy to find a house. Although the scriptures say the houses are gonna be empty, but you know, there might be houses that you might come across that are gonna be all that on that block. They're gonna be full of people in them, man, and they're gonna just kill you. Even if you're not coming to harm, you're just there to eat. You might be their lunch. You're gonna be their lunch.
Oh, yeah. And to go back in a little part, we were talking about the 2/3, how they can't do what we're doing, because you know, I just thought about it. You know, us like look how weak the brethren get just in what we're doing right now. You know, which is a good thing. You know, it's not a bad thing. You know, but just look at the hell we're going through right now. And just 2/3, you know, there may be 1 or 2/3 that see it, 1 or 2 2/3 that see it in the brother's life, in the brother's life that they see like, man, they're going through that shit. You know, but that 2/3 they can't do what we're doing. But the point is, look at what we're going through right now. But we're speaking about things that are going to happen in the future now. We're speaking about the things that are going to happen when America goes to hell. You know, just look at how bad it's going to get then. That's why the 2/3 they can't do what we're doing. You know, it's going to get worse. So if they can't do what we're doing now, what makes you think they can do it then, or what makes you think they can do it when all these things happen? You know, like the brother told me a while back, the chip hasn't even came yet. The chip hasn't even come, and these people can't even endure it. You know?
This is Psalms 20:1. The Lord hear thee in the day of trouble. The name of the God of Jacob defend thee. Send thee help from the sanctuary and strengthen thee out of Zion. Remember all thy offerings and accept thy burnt offerings, Selah. Grant thee according to thine own heart and fulfill all thy counsel. we will rejoice in thy salvation, and in the name of our God we will set up our banner.